What if the financial struggle you feel is not a result of the economy, but a direct reflection of a dormant state within you? You have been taught that wealth is a result of labor, of grind, of trading your life for coins. But the 1% know a secret that the schools never taught. Money is not earned, it is assumed. It is an energy that obeys the command of a specific frequency of consciousness. If you are listening to this, it is not an accident. Your inner self has led you here to break the chains of lack. In the next few minutes, we will not just talk about budgets or savings. We will dismantle the illusion of poverty and hand you the keys to the kingdom of abundance. By the end of this video, you will no longer be a servant to money. You will be its master. The shift begins the moment you stop doubting and start listening. You must understand that the separation between the wealthy and the majority is not a matter of luck, nor is it a matter of heritage, but rather a fundamental difference in the frequency of consciousness. The majority looks at money and sees a master, a tyrant that dictates where they can live, what they can eat, and how much freedom they are permitted to taste, living in a perpetual state of reaction where the external world dictates their internal emotional state. The 1%, those who have awakened the giant within, view money not as a goal to be chased with breathless anxiety, but as a tool, a high-octane fuel for freedom that exists solely to serve the expansion of their own awareness. They understand that money is energy, and energy must be directed by a firm hand, or it will dissipate into the ether of chaos. You are the operant power, and money is merely the shadow that moves when you move. If you fear it, it runs from you. If you respect it and command it with the authority of the I Am, it flows towards you like a river returning to the ocean. You must shift your assumption from, I need money to survive, to, I am the wealth that generates the money, for the feeling is the secret that unlocks the vault. To manage money like the extraordinary few, you must adopt the philosophy of confront, control, and create, which begins with the brutal, unvarnished truth of your current standing. The average mind seeks to sugarcoat reality, hiding from bank balances and ignoring credit card statements because the pain of looking is too great. But this avoidance is the very seed of poverty. You must confront the financial reality with the cold, analytical eye of a general surveying a battlefield, stripping away the emotion and seeing the numbers as simple coordinates on a map. Control is not about restriction. It is about direction, forcing every dollar to obey the dictates of your imagination rather than the whims of your momentary impulses. Creation follows control, for once you have stemmed the bleeding of chaotic spending, you can begin to build structures of wealth that rise like cathedrals to the sky. This is not about hoping for a lottery win. It is about the disciplined application of the law of cause and effect. You create wealth by becoming a person of value, by internalizing the state of abundance until the external world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Real power, the kind that shakes the earth and moves mountains, comes from absolute transparency with oneself. The 1% track and analyze every single currency unit that flows through their fingers, not out of miserliness, but out of a deep reverence for the energy they are stewarding. They understand that avoiding financial truths, like refusing to check a bank account because you are afraid of what you might see, is a form of spiritual cowardice that signals to the universe that you are not ready for more. By shining the light of awareness into the dark corners of your finances, you dissolve the shadows of debt and lack. You must become obsessed with the truth, for the truth is the frequency upon which wealth vibrates. When you know exactly what comes in and exactly what goes out, you reclaim your sovereignty. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the master of your destiny. This transparency is the cleaning of the lens through which you view the world, allowing you to see opportunities where others see only obstacles. It is the act of saying, I see you, to your money, and in that seeing, you grant it permission to grow. The distinction between the struggling many and the thriving few lies in the direction of their questions. The majority asks, how much can I spend today? A reactive question that keeps them tethered to the limitations of the present moment. The wealthy ask, what do I want to build? And then they work backward from that vision, bending reality to fit the mold of their desire. This is strategic thinking versus reactive thinking. Reactive thinking is a slave to the senses, responding to the immediate urge for dopamine, buying things to fill a void that is spiritual, not material. Strategic thinking is the domain of the visionary, the one who lives in the end, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled before the physical evidence appears. You must stop looking at your bank account to tell you who you are and start telling your bank account what it must become. Design the destination first, the freedom, the impact, the legacy, and then construct the path with the bricks of discipline and foresight. Your imagination is the architect. Your money is merely the workforce. Do not let the workforce tell the architect what is possible. But that's only the surface. For now, we must descend into the practical alchemy of cleaning up the chaos. The first step to fixing your finances is a ritual of radical honesty, a purging of the secrets you have kept even from yourself. You must sit down in silence, away from the noise of the world, and write down everything. Every debt, every interest rate, every hidden expense, every forgotten subscription that drains your life force. This act of writing is not administrative, it is exorcism. You are pulling the vague dread that haunts your sleep out into the light of day, where it loses its power to terrify you. When the monster is named, it can be tamed. You must look at the red numbers and refuse to flinch, standing firm in the knowledge that you are greater than any sum of money. This list is your starting point, your ground zero, the ashes from which the phoenix of your financial independence will rise. By acknowledging the chaos, you begin to order it, transforming the lead of debt into the gold of discipline through the sheer power of your attention. Financial chaos is rarely the result of a single catastrophic event. Rather, it is the accumulation of 1,000 tiny cuts, small leaks in the vessel of your wealth that go unnoticed until the ship begins to sink. These leaks, the daily coffees that bring no joy, the subscriptions you pay for but never use, the impulse purchases made in moments of weakness, are silent hemorrhages of your potential. You must plug these leaks not because you are cheap, but because you value your energy too much to let it bleed away on things that do not serve your highest self. Every dollar wasted is a soldier lost in the battle for your freedom. You must sharpen your awareness to detect these leaks, bringing a heightened state of consciousness to every transaction. Ask yourself, does this purchase align with the vision of the person I am becoming? If the answer is no, you must have the strength to close the wallet. This is the tightening of the ship, the preparation for the voyage to abundance. When you stop the bleeding, you signal to the universal law that you are a capable steward, ready to be entrusted with more. To combat the hypnotic pull of consumerism, you must implement the delay rule, a sacred pause that separates the men from the boys, the masters from the slaves. When the urge to buy something non-essential strikes, you must wait 24 hours before acting. This waiting period is a firebreak, a space where the heat of emotional impulse can cool, allowing the clarity of reason to return. Most purchases are attempts to change a feeling state, to move from boredom to excitement, from insecurity to validation. But these external fixes are fleeting and hollow. By waiting, you prove to yourself that you are in control of your desires, not the other way around. You separate the genuine need from the frantic want. In that space of 24 hours, you often find that the desire dissolves, revealing itself to be nothing more than a passing cloud. This practice strengthens your resistance muscle, building the spiritual stamina required to hold on to wealth once it arrives. You are reclaiming your power from the advertisers and the algorithms, standing firm in your own center. Cleaning up the chaos is ultimately an act of restoring your own dignity through discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood as punishment, but in truth, it is the highest form of self-love. It is the dignity of keeping the promises you make to yourself, of looking in the mirror and respecting the person looking back. When you are drowning in debt and disorganized spending, you lose a piece of your soul. You feel out of control, weak, and at the mercy of the world. By imposing order on your finances, you reclaim your self-respect. You walk taller, you speak with more authority, because you know that your house is in order. You are no longer led by the nose by creditors or impulses. You are the captain of your soul. This dignity radiates outward, affecting every area of your life, from your relationships to your career. When you respect your money respects you. It ceases to be a source of shame and becomes a source of pride, a testament to your character and your commitment to your own evolution. Here's what changes everything: the establishment of the Peace Fund. This is not a savings account. Do not insult it with such a common name. This is your foundation, your survival, and your sanity wrapped into one. An emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses is the bedrock upon which all other wealth is built. Without it, you are building a castle on sand, vulnerable to the first wave of misfortune that crashes against your shores. This fund prevents you from making desperate, fear-based decisions that compromise your values or force you to sell your long-term dreams for short-term survival. When you have this cushion, you do not have to accept the abuse of a bad boss or the terms of a predatory loan. You have the power to say no, and in a world of slaves, the power to say no is the ultimate luxury. This fund is your declaration of independence, your buffer against the chaos of the random universe. This peace fund must be separated from your daily existence, kept in a distinct account at a different bank if necessary, accessible enough to reach in a crisis but inconvenient enough to prevent casual raiding. If it sits next to your checking account, you will spend it. It is human nature to consume what is available. You must create a psychological and physical barrier around this money, treating it as sacred, untouchable, except in matters of life and death. It is not for a vacation. It is not for a new car. It is for your survival. By separating it, you allow it to accumulate energy, to become a dense ball of potential that anchors you to reality. This separation is a mental trick that hacks your own psychology, protecting your future self from your present impulses. You are building a wall around your peace of mind, brick by brick, dollar by dollar, ensuring that no matter what storms may blow, your fortress will stand. The true value of this fund is not the number on the screen. It is the psychological armor it provides. When you have money in the bank, you walk through the world differently. The constant low-level hum of anxiety that plagues the poor, the fear of a car breaking down, of a medical bill, of a lost job, silences. In that silence, your creativity can finally blossom. You cannot think big when you are worried about survival. The Peace Fund buys you the mental bandwidth to dream, to plan, and to execute at a higher level. It allows you to take calculated risks, to invest in yourself, to seize opportunities that the desperate must let pass. It gives you the confidence of a lion, knowing that you can handle the unexpected blows of life without crumbling. This confidence is magnetic. It attracts more opportunity, more wealth, more success. You are vibrating at the frequency of security, and the universe responds in kind. Now go deeper into the mechanics of protection. The Peace Fund acts as a shield for your other assets, a barrier that ensures the magic of compound interest is never interrupted. When a crisis hits, and it will hit, for that is the nature of life, the person without a fund must raid their investments, selling stocks or crypto at the worst possible time, locking in losses and killing the momentum of their growth. They are forced to eat the seed corn, but you, with your Peace Fund, can weather the storm without touching your golden goose. You let your investments ride, compounding silently in the background, while you handle the emergency with your cash reserves. This is how the rich stay rich. They never interrupt the compounding process. They sacrifice the cash to save the asset. This strategic layering of defense is what separates the fragile from the anti-fragile, allowing you to not just survive volatility, but to thrive in spite of it. The 1% do not rely on willpower, for they know that willpower is a battery that drains throughout the day. By the evening, when you are tired and hungry, your willpower is at zero, and you will make poor decisions. Therefore, you must bypass willpower entirely by building systems that automate smart decisions. You must set up your financial life so that the right thing happens automatically, without your intervention. The money must leave your account and go to investments before you even have a chance to see it, let alone spend it. This is the secret of the pay yourself first principle. It is not a suggestion, it is a command. You create a machine that operates in the background, a silent servant that builds your wealth while you sleep, while you work, while you play. You become the designer of the system, not the operator. The system is the heavy lifter. You are merely the visionary who set it in motion. Financial stability is built on 3 distinct layers: language, habits, and systems. Language is how you talk to yourself about money, your internal monologue that says, "I can't afford it," or "Money flows easily to me." This shapes your reality. Habits are the daily actions you take, the small rituals of checking your accounts or pausing before a purchase. Systems are the concrete structures, the automatic transfers, the recurring investments that enforce the habits and validate the language. You cannot have one without the others. A good system will fail if your language is one of poverty. Good habits will crumble if you have no system to support them. You must align these 3 layers into a coherent whole, a unified beam of intention that cuts through the fog of mediocrity. When your words, your actions, and your systems are all pointing in the same direction, Your momentum becomes unstoppable. You must adopt the practice of allocating before spending. The moment income hits your account, your system should immediately split it into predetermined buckets: fixed costs, savings, investments, and fun money. This must happen on day one, minute one. By doing this, you enforce scarcity on your spending money, which forces you to be creative and disciplined, while simultaneously ensuring that your wealth-building goals are met first. You do not save what is left after spending. You spend what is left after saving. This reversal of the common flow is the master key. Discipline becomes the default option because the money simply isn't there to be wasted. You are artificially creating a broke environment for your daily life so that your future self can be infinitely rich. You are tricking your present self into compliance with your higher goals. Far from being restrictive, this automation brings a profound liberation through structure. When you know that your savings are handled, your bills are paid, and your investments are growing, you are free to spend what remains without guilt. You no longer have to agonize over every small decision, wondering if you can afford a dinner out or a new pair of shoes. If the money is in the fun bucket, you can spend it with a light heart. The tracks are already laid for your money to flow correctly. You just have to ride the train. This frees up massive amounts of mental energy that can be redirected toward creating more value, solving bigger problems, and expanding your consciousness. You are no longer a manager of micromanagement. You are a creator of worlds. The structure carries the weight, allowing your spirit to soar. To escape the gravity of the rat race, you must understand that true wealth requires separating income from hours worked. You must move from being a laborer to being a creator of assets. This involves productizing yourself, taking your unique knowledge, your specific skills, your innate talents, and turning them into things that exist independently of your physical presence. Books, courses, software, investments, content. These are soldiers that fight for you while you sleep. The majority sells their time, a finite resource that runs out every day. The 1% sell products or value that can be replicated infinitely. You must ask yourself, what do I know that others need? How can I package this so I can sell it 1,000,000 times without working 1,000,000 hours? This shift from service to product is the crossing of the Rubicon. It is the moment you stop renting your life and start owning it. This brings us to the concept of leverage, the Archimedean lever that moves the world. The wealthy use leverage to multiply their output. Leverage comes in many forms: code that works 24/7, media that reaches millions at zero marginal cost, capital that earns interest, and other people's time. The majority tries to do everything themselves, limited by their own 2 hands and 24 hours. The wealthy man uses the hands of thousands and the hours of millions through the tools he deploys. You must look for leverage in everything you do. Do not ask, how can I do this? Ask, how can this get done? Use technology, use money, use systems to amplify your efforts. 1 hour of your time, applied with leverage, should produce the output of 100 hours of unleveraged work. This is not laziness, it is efficiency. It is the intelligent application of force. The ultimate goal of this entire journey is not to buy short-term thrills, which are nothing but dopamine hits that fade the moment they are consumed. The goal is to purchase long-term freedom. You are trading the instant gratification of a new gadget for the deep, abiding serenity of owning your own time. You are buying the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I own this day. Freedom is the only true luxury. Everything else is just decoration. When you spend money, ask yourself, is this buying me freedom or is it buying me a chain? Most things we buy are chains. They require maintenance, insurance, attention. True wealth is the absence of obligation. It is the quiet power of choice. You must fall in love with freedom more than you love the appearance of success. Finally, you must redefine success internally. The world will tell you that success is a big car, a big house, and a loud watch. But this is the game of the ego, a game of living to show off that never ends and never satisfies. The 1% define success as living to be free. They do not need to impress strangers on the internet. Their validation comes from within, from the knowledge that they are masters of their own fate. When you stop needing the applause of the crowd, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. Your financial choices are made based on your internal values, on what brings you joy and peace, not on what society expects of you. This is the ultimate victory, to live life on your own terms, guided by your own inner light, fueled by the resources you have mastered. You have moved from the external to the internal, and in that holy place you have found the kingdom. You are no longer the person who started this video. A door has been opened in the corridor of your mind, and you can never unknow what you have just remembered. The vibration of wealth is now active within you, humming beneath the surface of your skin. But knowledge without action is a dead flower. You must water this seed with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I ask you now, what is the first chain you will break today? Declare it to the universe below in the comments. Subscribe, activate the notifications, and do not let this state fade. Your transformation is not finished. It has just begun. The next video holds the blueprint for the next level of your awakening. Click it now and step into your power.